Hello, everyone. Did you see everyone on this beautiful day? I unmuted myself.
Unmute yourself.
Hope everyone's doing good today, and we're going to go ahead and start the meeting. And President-elect Shane Webb will lead us in prayer. Thanks, Shane.
Wow, I feel so appreciated.
You are, Shane.
I can tell y'all care. Well, it's a good thing I love y'all. It is good to be here with you today, and I invite you to join me in a spirit of prayer. Holy God, loving God, we thank you for this day that you have given to us, for the breath that we are able to breathe. God, we pray for those who are ill and suffering from health issues. God, we pray that your protection would be upon us in this time of pandemic. God, we ask that you would bless the food and the conversations that we will have this day. And God, may you give us a heart of service to continue to reach out to our community. And Lord, we put ourselves and this community into your hands. And we pray this in your holy name. Amen.
Thank you, Shane.
Madam President.
I believe, is it working now? The Pledge of Allegiance will be led by Richard Wright.
Would you please place your hand on your heart? I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
God bless America.
God bless America. Stand aside and guide tonight with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairies, through the oceans, I will go. God bless America. Oh, God bless America.
Thank you so much. And now we will have our secretary, Tracy Love, introduce our guests today. Thank you, Tracy.
So we have with us and he did a the 4th of July delivery beautifully. We really appreciate his help coming along, and those kids are getting letters of support for their holiday. Good. So we really appreciate him stepping up, and this is his first time to our Rotary.
We also have the Ranjan and the Polly. They are here from a Rotary in India. 2 minutes to speak on behalf of their Rotary.
Yes, he's going to give you one. We're going to give you a moment to share what's going on in your area.
Good afternoon to everybody. I am really honored that I have been invited here to be guest of Rotary Club of Irving, Las Colinas. In fact, my son is here. He stays in here since 2007. but recently moved to Dallas. So he's staying in Irving area. And that's the reason I tried to come and join this particular club today meeting. I am from Rotary Club of Pune West, which is near Mumbai. Pune, you know, that's a very big town and especially famous for IT. I think a lot of Indians who are in Dallas with the IT background, they are mostly find from Pune. So that's a town which is very famous for IT and automobiles. It is called Detroit of India also because a lot of the industries are there with connected with automobiles and accessories. Our club, which is with Pune West Club, which is 53 years old club, we have 60 members. Like most of them are senior people, and incidentally, I joined this club after my retirement from the bank. I retired as a general manager in one of the biggest banks in India and settled finally in Pune. So I joined Rotary in 2018. Last 3 years, I am very actively involved in Rotary work, all over wherever, in all activities wherever. Today, I am director of New Generation Youth in my club for this year. And also the district has given me the opportunity to work as the chairman adult literacy in India for the district 3131. Our district 3131 is almost, we can say, one first three districts in India with respect to all sorts of projects, volume of projects, amount spent for the projects, and also the funds raised for the fund related part of it. So, as a Rotarians, I am working hard. My wife is there, Dipali. She is also equally involved because in India, all ants are involved in some committee or other committee of the Rotary. So they are actively involved in this. She is connected with literacy in the sense cyber. We are doing a lot big project of cyber safety, where we are telling all the school children about what safety measures they must have while dealing with internet and mobile phones and all those things, which includes stuffing, trolling, and they conduct sessions for that. In fact, our sessions also approved by the police authorities as well as government of Maharashtra state government. So we hold for number of schools in Maharashtra and more than 4 lakhs students we have educated into cyber safety related part. And this year, this is also going to be a project of district as well as under Rotary India Literacy Mission. So that I am this time we feel a lot of activities in India in Rotary because RIP President Mr. Shekhar Mehta is from there. He visited last month in Pune and all those things. So he has motivated us all to work very hard for the Rotary. I am sure we will be a contributor to the Rotary. And last year, in fact, I got an opportunity to have a talk with or meet a lot of international Rotarians because India celebrated its centenary Rotary Club there at that time, 100 years completed. So Mr. Mark Melanie and all those people were there. It was a good fun to be in Calcutta for 3-4 days and had a entire overview of Rotary. So we are very much attracted with Rotary. I am trying my son here Nishan to join Rotary Club and also asking his friends to join Rotary somewhere because my son is already doing some sort of a voluntary service. He was an architect, he used to work as a volunteer firefighter. So that fortunately he has that inclination. So I hope that very soon he may be joining you or maybe nearby club. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. I will invite all of you people as and when you are in India, do visit Pune, do visit our club. We will be grateful. We are also doing a lot of global grant projects where we require foreign partners. You know that as for the Rotary project conditions. So if something is there, we can work together also. So that's it. Thank you very much. Thanks a lot. Thanks.
Comments like you're a lot of
Oh, sure. Well, we are blessed today to have a Rotary member from India, and we're going to present a flag from the Irving Las Colinas Rotary Club to help you to always remember us, and
Yes,
we love those referrals. Thank you.
It's my, because this is my first international Rotary meeting I am attending. It was not planned, so that unfortunately I am not got back from my club, but I will certainly send something to you. Positively.
We'll come back often.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, next on the agenda, we were going to highlight new guests, potential future members, and President-elect is going to come up and help us to get energized and ignited about attending the first future member social hour. Thank you.
Just when I thought I was going to get to sit down and eat, right? So yes, I'm wearing a membership hat right now because our friend Lazaro is not feeling well today, but hopefully it's just a stomach bug and we'll see him next time. But we wanted to encourage membership. So one of the things we wanted to start doing is for everyone that brings a guest to Rotary will be entered in a small raffle, because if there's only 2 or 3 people that bring guests, your odds are very good of winning. And so you could leave the meeting with $10 cash in your pocket. So that's an incentive to encourage us to invite people to this. We've got a great club. It's the best kept secret in Irving, and we need to make sure that it's not a secret anymore. So we want to encourage people to come. And another part of this initiative will be doing some social hours. So instead of our regular lunch meeting on August 26th, we'll be gathering here at the country club, and we'll have some happy hour. We'll have hors d'oeuvres. There'll be a cash bar so people can get drinks, and we encourage you to invite friends, bring family, so that they can see that Rotary is not only about service, that's our main priority, but we also like to have fun and let them get to know our club. And I spoke with the Sunrise Club this morning. I actually got up that early. It doesn't happen often, but I got up at 7 and went to their meeting, and they are excited to partner with us in this endeavor. So August 26th, 5 to 7. It counts for your regular meeting attendance. If you show up, you don't have to be there the whole time. Come when it's convenient. It's come and go. And then again on September the 16th. So plug those in your calendar, 5 to 7 here at the country club. And I might even buy you a drink. So just watch out. Anything else, Madam President? It's very likely.
Thank you, Shane.
Thank you so much, and I encourage everyone to put that on your calendar. It should be a fun event, and hopefully someone that you do business with or a neighbor friend is interested, and that would be more convenient for them to come and check us out. At this time, Ryan, our director of our programs, is going to come up and introduce our guests today and also recognize the contribution we're making. Thank you, Ryan.
Thank you. All right, well, good afternoon, everybody. So Ryan Maney, Director of Programs, excited to introduce our speaker today. And this speaker is the CEO of a really important foundation for us. And as you guys know, I want to kind of publicly announce what the contribution that our Rotary is making to the program. So $2,500 to the backpack program, $2,500 to Food for Thought program, and $2,500 to Supplies for Success program. So I think this is a fantastic foundation, a way for us to contribute not only to directly to Irving and to our youth, but also to those important influencers who are shaping the youth of the future. And so, so now it's with great pleasure that I introduce our speaker who runs that foundation. And I'm sure there's a ton of things she could share with us about leading a nonprofit like this, but she's going to be updating us on the backpack program. So please welcome Crystal Scanio.
I feel like I need the gavel again, right? Y'all put me in charge again. Kidding. Thank you all for having me today. I'm sorry for my casual appearance. We were at Convocation today, which for those of you that don't know what Convocation is, it's our kickoff for our teachers and our Irving ISD staff. It's kind of like a big pep rally, and more than ever this year, and I promise I won't get emotional on y'all, but our teachers and our staff need more pep than ever before. They're going back next week and they're going into the unknown. They have a lot of kiddos last year that got a pseudo education. I'm just being honest. It was, some kids couldn't get on, they couldn't figure out the virtual thing. And we had a lot of challenges. And then our teachers are fearful. We have a lot of students that can't get vaccinated, a lot of teachers that are high risk. So if you do pray, which I know a lot of y'all do, I would ask you to pray for our teachers and staff. It's going to be a very tough year. But I will tell you, I left today emotional. I have mascara on my eyes because our teachers were so excited, and to see the passion in their eyes. There it goes, guys. To see the passion in their eyes that they're willing to put their lives at risk to educate these kids is amazing. And so I just want to give a shout out to all of our teachers and all of our educators out there. It's a really exciting day, and I'm not going to cry because I'm excited. But speaking of excitement, we had our program this past weekend on Saturday. We had our Supplies for Success program, and that's what I'm here to share with y'all, some information about the program. This year was, again, I hate to keep using the word, I feel like this is the word pivot that everyone's trying to get away from, but now the word is challenge. So this year we're faced with the challenge of how do we distribute backpacks, school supplies, food, necessary items that our children need to succeed to make it through the school year. And so we got creative. We got together with a lot of different groups in the city of Irving and school district. Big shout out to Irving PD, Irving Fire, Irving Parks and Rec, of course the school district, and then a ton of other organizations in the city that all got together for this program to make sure that over 6,000 children this year receive backpacks, school supplies, and food. Additionally, something we had to do, and it's something we've never had to do before, is we didn't get a chance to have a fair where we normally have our parents go through, and they go through a resource fair. They learn about different opportunities in the city of Irving where they can gain access to help to get them out of the situation they're in. We didn't have that. So we did a QR code, and all of you all are familiar with QR codes now, right? Because all the restaurants do them. I remember we tried to do that back in 2012 and everyone looked just like we were crazy. Now everyone knows you cover your phone over it and just it pops up. So some of you might not know this, a lot of you might know this because I feel like I share this with y'all every year, but just want to remind y'all of the population that we serve. We have served over 33,000 students. We have over 2,200 teachers. We've actually added 100 new positions this year. We received a grant that helped us fund 100 positions, and gosh, do we need it. A lot of those positions are going to be instructional educators. So we have our teachers, and we have our additional resources there on campus for our students, because again, last year our students didn't really get a chance to be educated. Although our teachers tried and our students tried, but it was a challenge. We have 37 different campuses, 45.7 square miles. My favorite fact of all time about Irving ISD, 96 different countries represented 56 different languages. Potentially poses a challenge for us because there are all those different languages that we don't speak. A lot of us generally speak English. So we always go above and beyond to make sure we have translators there on site to help with parents, because our parents are our first educators at home. So if we don't have their buy-in, if we don't have them at home educating, we're just going to start off below zero. 100% of our students, this is a brand new thing. So 100% of our students, K through 12, actually, as of next week, will receive free breakfast and lunch. Amazing thing that our superintendent pushed for. So none of our children have to have that awkward moment of, I don't want to admit that I need the help, but I need the help. And so just, it's a blanket, 100% will receive free breakfast and free lunch every day when they come to school. I hate to say this, but I feel like y'all know this. This is an incentive for a lot of our kids to come to school. It's that incentive of, I'm gonna get a free meal when I go to school because I don't have food at home. So if that's what gets our kids in the doors, it's awesome. It's gonna get them in the door. Their bellies were full. I know you all get hangry. I get hangry too. We don't want hangry children. We want children that come in wanting to be educated. So really cool thing when Magda presents to you all, Ms. Hernandez presents to you all in a couple weeks, please give her kudos. That was a huge push that she did to get that. And then, you know, despite the situation a lot of our kids go through at home, we hear some very scary stories from children that we shouldn't be hearing, that grown adults shouldn't have to go through situations like that. But despite the odds, our kids have a 95% graduation rate. They do really well in their exams. They get into Ivy League schools, and they're fantastic kids. And I know Chief Spivey will agree with me that we want to make sure our kids start with a positive start. This is a proactive way of getting to a great community. If we target our kids when they're young, they're not going to be the criminals on the street. They're going to be people here in this meeting trying to figure out how they can make a difference. So very proactive approach. Speaking of proactive, the foundation went through a little bit of a shift a couple of years ago when we decided that we were targeting the wrong area. So this is something that Irving Schools Foundation focused on the most, which was self-actualization. We were providing a lot of scholarships. We were presenting kids with opportunities that they simply could not afford and did not fit in with. I'll give you an example. We gave scholarships for a lot of kids to go to space camp. Our kids showed up with trash bags for their luggage. They went to space camp and they felt so out of place because everyone else had fancy luggage. They knew what they were doing. Their parents went to college. These kids didn't know how to fit in. So we were doing that. Our kids were failing. It was our fault because we didn't investigate the situation. So that's when we flipped everything upside down and went back to, as you all know, we started our Food for Thought program in 2019. And we started targeting the psychological, the basic needs. I'll kind of group those together. Food. So every week we provide food to our students for the weekends. Like I said, they'll get free breakfast and lunch at school, but on weekends, they can't come to school. So that's where Food for Thought steps in and provides food every weekend. That program since 2019, we launched, we had 150 kids we're serving. During COVID, we spiked to 5,000 kids. We've leveled out now about 1,700. So we have 1,700 children that every week rely on us to make sure they have food in their bellies over the weekend before they can come back on Monday for the free breakfast. We also start focusing more on our Supplies for Success program because we found that a lot of our kids were showing up to school day one without the items they needed, and talk about the embarrassment and just the feeling of I'm not one of them. When you show up, you have to raise your hand and say, Miss, I don't have paper, I don't have a pencil, I don't have the basic needs that I need to be here today. And it put our kids behind mentally. I don't know about you all, when I show up to a meeting and I'm not prepared, I don't have my iPad, I don't have my notes, I am just frazzled, and our kids were showing up like that. So we expanded Supplies for Success. We invited over 16,000 children to participate this year. And that was a huge number for us, but that's the number we pulled. And the way we pull that, I get this question a lot, is we go through our food service department and we see which kids are on federally funded programs. We also ask the counselors to provide nominations. So if someone's not on a federally funded program, such as SNAP or CHIP, the counselors can say, this kiddo, they're not on that program, but I know their family's struggling. We had a ton of that this year. A lot of families that never thought they'd be in a situation like they're in right now because of COVID are now in that situation. And they're struggling to make ends meet, they're struggling to pay their bills. And so school supplies, fancy backpacks, things that make the kids feel cool and excited and want to go back to school, it wasn't in the budget. So we saw a lot of that this year. We had a lot of those heartbreaking calls. And I'm very blessed to say that we were able to meet every single need. We did not turn away a single nomination from a counselor. And that's thanks to you all and the community's generosity. It was really overwhelming this year, the stories that we heard and just the heartbreak of what our families are going through. If you go to the next slide, I'll show you some photos of our event. So because we had so many children to serve, we had to get creative. We actually moved to the Joy and Ralph Ellis Stadium there on 6th Street near Bowie. And we had it outdoors to be safe. You know, a lot of our kids cannot be vaccinated, so we want to make sure we're outside. hence the need for Irving PD to be there to help regulate traffic. We had over 3,000 backpacks given away. So approximately 2,600 cars. I think we lost count as we're clicking, our clicker got tired, but we had a lot of cars come through that day. A lot of kids were there to be served. And although it was a drive-through experience, whereas normally in the past we'd have them come in, they do the resource fair, our kids would get haircuts, vision checks, dental checks. We weren't able to do that this year, but it was so much fun. We hired some Disney princesses. So they were there. We had one little girl run out, a little fearful for her that she's gonna get run over. We all stopped traffic for her. She was screaming to go run to hug Belle. So that was the highlight, she said, of her back to school year, was that she got to hug Belle. You'll see here we have the pile. I don't know if y'all can see in this photo. That is approximately 4,000 backpacks. So throughout the week, we had volunteers come in. We had over 100 volunteers come in and stuff. Oh, thank you. Look at that, Zoom. We had volunteers come in and stuff those backpacks. And I'll tell you, we had everyone from 8-year-olds show, actually, I had a 3-year-old show up, not mine, but another 3-year-old showed up, all the way to a retired educator that was 89 years old. And she said, I can't do the backbreaking work, but tell me what to do, and I can organize or do whatever. She was there lifting bags, moving things. So if you think that you can't do it, please show up next year and see we have a job for everyone. There's our Irving firefighters loading, unloading all of the donations we received from the city of Irving. They collected them for us at their stations throughout the month. You'll see the red bags there. Those are bags of food that went home with all the kiddos. And then we did have immunizations and COVID vaccines as well. So we're still able to offer some of the items. We offered over 200 vaccines, which was really exciting to some of our kiddos that just don't have the ability to go there. We had a lot of walk-ups, so a lot of people took the bus to get there, which again shows the importance of this project and why our families need it so badly. I get asked this question a lot. I'm anticipating y'all's questions. What happens if there's leftover items after Supplies for Success? What happens if the family can't make it in person? We get a lot of those calls that I work Saturdays. I don't have transportation. What happens is we take all the leftover school supplies and backpacks and we deliver them to all of the schools. So no one again will be turned away. And you just have to visit with their counselor and just say, I need some assistance. So all this week we've been receiving those leftover backpacks. If we still have items left over, for example, at the Irving fire stations, we received things that maybe didn't fit into a backpack. We got huge pieces of construction paper, things that just weren't maybe fit for kids. Sharpies, we did not give children Sharpies. It goes to our C2C store. So our C2C store is a community to classroom. It's a hard one to say store, which is why I call it C2C, makes it easy. But that store is a store where our teachers, counselors, anyone can go throughout the year. We have items for their classroom, items for students. We have clothing there. We have coats, whatever our kids need throughout the year. They can come, make an appointment. It's completely volunteer run. A lot of our retired educators run that program for us. We always need help. So if y'all ever want a fun volunteer project, come volunteer at C2C store. Seeing those teachers come through, especially the new teachers, and they realize that they don't have to spend their own money. We had one teacher that came in with a receipt. She had just spent $1,000 on school supplies, and she was like, can I go return all these things? I was like, yep, go to Walmart, return all that stuff, buy it here, no register, it's all free. So we always need volunteers there, and then we always will take gently used or new school supplies, office supplies. Someone donated a bike to us the other day, which was great. Our counselors loved it. We get furniture there, so really kind of go through your mind. I know Kathy, you donated some furniture in the past. We love that. The teachers fought over it. I had a huge TV donated one time. It was bigger than this table. And I sent out to the counselor or to the schools, and I thought, no one's going to take this. I had 5 principals tell me, if I get there first, can I have it? If I get there first, I was like, no, first come, first serve. So if you think they're not going to want it, teachers want it. We had pieces of fabric donated, and the art teachers went crazy over it. Magazines, they love those. So call me first, check with me before you throw something away. It can probably be used at C2C store. So that's my presentation. I want to thank the Rotary Club. Y'all helped sponsor the Supplies for Success program for many years. And y'all have been just loyal partners to us. It's just been amazing to be able to, like I say, not turn kids away. And we continue to grow it, and we continue to say to our counselors, bring them on. If you guys have more kids, we'll take them. We will make sure that every child is served in the way that they need to be served individually and with the most dignity to make sure that they don't feel less than. So with that, I'll open up to questions. Any questions? Did I answer all of y'all's questions? I've done this enough to where I know the questions are coming.
Crystal, is it just one CDC store at one middle school?
Good question. I couldn't have planned a better question, Patty. Thank you. So exciting news. I think I can share it. I hope I can. I'm not going to trouble later, but call the CEO, complain to her. We have, we're opening up a warehouse space. So we've acquired a leased space in South Irving. It's a wonderful property. We have a huge warehouse where we can store all of our food. It's heat and AC, I can't term, but it has air conditioning. And we will actually have our C2C store move there. So currently we're at Crockett Middle School. We're on borrowed property, which we love our friends at Crockett, but we are on their time. We can only do limited hours because it's during the time when the school's open. Versus C2C store being at a warehouse, we could open it up on the weekends, which is when most of our teachers want to come shopping. We're really excited about it. Our Food for Thought program currently is housed out of a closet at Travis Middle School and a classroom at Bowie Middle School. So imagine serving 1,700 kids every week out of a closet in a classroom. So us moving to this warehouse is a huge venture. We had a anonymous donor that gave us a $100,000 gift to buy the warehouse, or excuse me, lease the warehouse. It was a huge leap of faith. So add us to your prayers. We're very nervous about this, but it's just something that we need as we grow. So C2C store soon will be at the warehouse space, and it's going to be bigger, and we actually have 3 spaces. So we'll have a space for the C2C store. We're gonna have a separate room just for uniforms and coats, and then a separate room just for food. Yes, sir. School supplies or whatever, any kind of donation, you can bring it to our office. We're based out of the Irving IC Administration Building, so we're off of 183 between Story and Beltline. My team and I are happy to meet you somewhere, so if you have them, I can come pick them up. I drive a large SUV for that sole purpose, and my almost 4-year-old that likes having a big car. I know, we just want support. I need to bring her back here. But yes, you can call. My contact information was up there, but hopefully I'll write that down. Call us, email us. We'll come pick it up, or you can deliver it to our office. Yes, sir.
Are you guys accepting musical equipment? So like, you know.
Yes. Great question. We always accept musical equipment. We actually have another program called Spark Tank, similar to the Shark Tank, the show. And our teachers often come and present items they need. One of my favorite ones was the teacher that came in. He went to Salvation Army, Goodwill, Salvation Army, I can stop moving. Salvation Army, Goodwill, all the places, and purchased used musical equipment. And most of them were, very old. And he brought them in as a sample. Many of the drums had holes in them. They were completely, he started crying and said, "This is all I can afford. The state doesn't help me fund this. This is all I can afford." And he was so ashamed of what he had bought for his kids. And it was like, you spent your own money to buy that for the kids. So he did say, if there's ever any donations, guitars, saxophones, whatever, we'll take it. All right, thank y'all so much.
Thank you, Linda. Thanks for coming. Well, what a awesome presentation, and making a large difference with our future leaders, right? So I'm so glad we're a part of that. And thank you, Crystal. We appreciated the update. At this time, we're going to have a flag program update. And would Kathy or Bob like to give any updates regarding the flag program? Or Bill?
I can give it up. We're going to build the remaining flags that we have at empty pole a week from Saturday on the 21st at 8 o'clock. Will be done by 9 o'clock, and that will help us be prepared to move the flags then between Labor Day and the September
Excellent. Thank you. Well, I appreciate all three of you and Rick working to support the program, and it's been a huge success. Does anyone have an announcement they need to make, Shane? You have an announcement?
Yes,
Okay.
but if there's anyone else, they can go first.
Does anyone else have an announcement?
Madam President, I have a quick announcement. September 2nd, 3 weeks from today, is our next past president's meeting just before this club meeting. So all of you that have been past president, I'll text you a reminder, going to that on your calendar, 10:45 to 11:45.
Go ahead, Shane.
All right. So we, like, as promised, we have a raffle. It's a 50-50 chance between Linda and Kathy. I'm gonna let our treasurer draw.
Oh, excellent.
Who's it gonna be? Oh, it is you, Madam President.
Thank you so much.
You are the official winner of $10. And we'll continue this, but for the social, we had a generous anonymous donor that is willing to give you, whoever wins the raffle that evening will get 2 baseball tickets to a Rangers game. They will get a $100 food voucher and a parking pass.
Excellent, Shane. Thank you. Okay, our next meeting here at the Las Colinas Country Club, we'll be recognizing Irving ISD football coaches, and that's always a fun presentation, and probably a lot of us are excited about the football season, and hopefully be able this year to get out and enjoy some. I do encourage everyone to be very protective because COVID-19 has spiked again, so use safety precautions. I know 4 close friends and 2 were vaccinated that are very sick right now with COVID-19, so be cautious. Let's see, we're gonna have the 4-way test, and Shane, you're back up front and center with the 4-way test. Thank you. President-elect. You're kidding.
I am, but only because I love you. Will you please join me in the 4-way test of the things we think, say, and do? First, is it the truth? Second, is it fair to all concerned? Third, and fourth. Thank you, friends.
And the meeting has adjourned.